For most people, it's one of the proudest days of their life. The mortgage is finally gone. The house is 100% yours. No more payments, no more bank. It feels like the ultimate safety. And paying off your home is a real achievement, I want to say that clearly up front. But here's what almost no one talks about. When most of your life savings is locked inside the walls of your house, it can quietly create problems in retirement, money that earns nothing, cash you can't reach when you need it most, and an asset that's exposed to taxes, lawsuits, and more. Financial folks have a name for it: debt equity. And understanding it could change how you plan the rest of your retirement. In the next few minutes, I'll explain, in plain English, what debt equity is, the 3 real problems it creates, and the calm, sensible questions to ask before you decide what to do. No hype, and definitely no one trying to sell you a loan. I'm Ray. Let's take a clear-eyed look at the home you worked so hard for. Quick and important, I'm not a financial advisor, and this is education, not advice. Decisions about your home are some of the biggest you'll make, and they're deeply personal. What's right for your neighbor may be wrong for you. So please, before you act on anything, talk to a fee-only fiduciary advisor, someone legally required to put your interests first, and be very, very careful with anyone trying to sell you a reverse mortgage or a loan. My only goal today is to help you see the full picture. Let's start simple. Your home equity is just the part of your home you actually own. For a paid-off house, that's the whole value. If your home is worth $400,000 and you owe nothing, you have $400,000 in equity. Now, debt equity is the nickname for what happens to that money once it's sitting inside the house. It's still yours, but it's frozen. You can't spend it, it doesn't earn anything, and you can't easily get to it. It just sits there, in the walls, the roof, the lawn. For a lot of retirees, the home is by far their biggest asset, sometimes more than everything else combined. So if most of your net worth is dead in the house, it's worth understanding exactly what that costs you. Let's go through the 3 real problems, starting with the quietest one. The first problem is opportunity cost, a fancy way of saying money locked in your house isn't growing. Think about it. If that same equity were in a diversified account, it could be earning a return year after year. Sitting in the house, it earns you nothing in cash. Your home might rise in value on paper, but you can't spend paper. I'm not saying your house should be an investment, it's your home, and there's huge value in security and not having a payment. But it's worth being honest that a large pile of frozen equity has a hidden cost. Every dollar in the walls is a dollar not generating income you could actually live on. For someone trying to stretch retirement income, that matters. That leads straight into the second problem, and it's the one that hurts people the most. Here's the cruel irony of debt equity. You might be sitting in a home worth $500,000 and still struggle to cover a surprise expense, a new roof, a medical bill, helping family. Why? Because you can't pay the plumber with a brick from your wall. The wealth is real, but it's illiquid, hard to turn into usable cash. And it gets harder with age, not easier. Tapping home equity usually means borrowing, and qualifying for a loan on a fixed retirement income can be tough, sometimes right when you need it most. The options that exist for accessing it, we'll get to them, all come with strings, costs, or risks. So you can end up in the strangest position: house rich, cash poor. Asset wealthy on paper, but squeezed every month. We'll meet a couple in exactly that spot shortly. But first, the third problem, the one people never see coming. A lot of people assume a paid-off house is untouchable. It isn't. A big chunk of frozen equity is actually exposed in ways cash in the right accounts may not be. First, the bills never stop. Even with no mortgage, you still owe property taxes and insurance every year. For life and on a fixed income, rising property taxes alone can squeeze you. That's a whole video on its own, link in the description. Second, lawsuits and creditors. Depending on your state, home equity can be exposed if you're ever sued, a car accident, a liability claim. Protections vary a lot by state. Third, and this is the big one for later life, Medicaid estate recovery. If you ever need long-term care and Medicaid pays for it, the state can come after your estate afterward to recover costs, and for most seniors the house is the biggest thing there. We covered this in detail in the Medicaid video, also linked. So paid off doesn't mean protected. It just means the bank is gone, the other risks are still very much in play. Let me show you how all of this looks for a real couple. Meet Richard and Martha again. They did everything right, paid off their home, worth around $400,000. They're proud of it, and they should be. But their monthly income is tight. Their savings outside the house are modest. When the roof needed $12,000 in repairs, they had to scramble even though they were sitting on $400,000 in equity. They're the textbook case, house rich, cash poor. Their wealth is real, but it's all frozen in one illiquid, exposed asset, and their day-to-day life is stressed because of it. Here's the key lesson: Richard and Martha aren't in trouble because they paid off the house. They're stressed because they never planned around the debt equity, they didn't think about liquidity, or keeping some accessible cash, until they were already squeezed. That's the mistake to avoid. So what are the actual options? Let's go through them, including the ones to be careful with. There are a few common ways people deal with debt equity. I'm going to lay them out plainly, including the downsides, and I am not recommending any of them. This is exactly where you need a fiduciary. Option 1: Downsizing. Selling the big house, buying something smaller or cheaper, and freeing up the difference as usable cash. It's often the cleanest way to unlock equity, but it means moving and leaving a home full of memories. Option 2: A HELOC or home equity line set up early. Some people open a line of credit while they still qualify, as a safety net. The catch: it's debt, it has costs, rates can rise, and qualifying gets harder with age. Option 3: A reverse mortgage. This lets older homeowners pull cash from equity without monthly payments. And here's where I have to be blunt: reverse mortgages are heavily marketed to seniors, they carry significant fees and risks, and they can reduce what you leave your family. Some people have been badly burned. If anyone pressures you toward one, walk away and talk to a fiduciary first. Option 4: Simply keep more cash. Sometimes the answer isn't touching the house at all, it's building a bigger liquid cushion elsewhere so the equity can stay frozen safely. The point isn't which one is right, it's that you should choose deliberately, with a fiduciary, not in a panic. Which brings us to the mistake. The biggest mistake with debt equity is the same one Richard and Martha made: never planning for it. People pour everything into paying off the house, feel safe, and never ask, what happens if I need cash? What if I need care? Is too much of my net worth frozen in one asset? The second mistake is the opposite: panicking and grabbing the first solution a salesperson offers, usually a reverse mortgage or a loan with ugly terms. Fear makes people sign bad deals. So what should you actually do? Not borrow against anything today. Instead, understand your real numbers and get a fiduciary's plan. Know what share of your net worth is locked in the home, know how much liquid cash you can reach in an emergency, and know your state's rules on taxes and estate recovery. Then decide calmly. 5 steps, all calm, none of them borrow money. Step 1: Add it up. What's your home worth, and what percentage of your total net worth is frozen in it? If it's most of it, take note. Step 2: Check your liquidity. How much cash could you actually get your hands on in 48 hours for an emergency? If the answer is very little, that's the real issue to fix. Step 3: Learn your exposure, your state's property tax trajectory, lawsuit protections, and Medicaid estate recovery rules. Step 4: Talk to a fee-only fiduciary, not a salesperson, about whether downsizing, a cash cushion, or doing nothing fits your situation. Step 5: Decide deliberately, never under pressure. No one should rush you into touching your home. Paying off your home was the right kind of win. The goal now is simply to make sure that win is working for you, not quietly against you. If this gave you a new way to look at your home, hit subscribe. I break down a retirement money topic every week. And tell me in the comments, did you pay off your home or keep your cash liquid? I read them all. Next time, one of the most common and most misunderstood moves seniors make: putting your house in your kids' names. It feels smart and loving, and it can backfire badly. You'll want to see that before you ever sign anything. Take care of yourself, and take care of what you built. I'm Ray. See you in the next one.